Dame Rebecca West said it best, with a community needs news for the same reason that a man needs eyes. It has to see where it's going. Find out how this applies to newsletters and the top reason to start a newsletter inside the video. Hey guys, it's Tia from Brand24, and today we are going to look at email marketing and the top reasons to start a newsletter. But before we get into why you need to start building an email list, I want to just geek out for a minute and look at how newsletters even became a thing in the first place. I do love a good origin story. And this one seems to be all about staying current and up to date. Newsletters go back. In fact, between all the various methods of digital marketing out there, email marketing and newsletters are considered to be the oldest forms around. So there are records that date all the way back to ancient Rome of public officials. They exchange periodic updates and reports on their latest activities, which is essentially what a newsletter does, except these were carved in stone. And then as time progressed and hand-carved stone tablets gave way to paper and the printing press, which also made it a lot easier to produce more than one portable rock face of content at a time, the newsletter evolved into the newspaper, which was originally based on a collection of weekly local news reports and advice. And finally, with the advent of the internet and email becoming just a household commodity, we began to see what most of us probably think of when we hear the word newsletter today, which is basically a simple but very well-designed HTML-based email that typically provides a news update or shared insight that's sent from an organization or a person. Now, as the incomparable author, journalist, literary critic, and travel writer Dame Rebecca West put it, a community needs news for the same reason that a man needs eyes. It has to see where it's going. And the key word here is actually community. So this is one of the key reasons why newsletters they've never really gone away, only changing form with time, because not only does the digital newsletter help keep readers up to date on topics that they care about, it also serves as like a powerful way for businesses and organizations to connect with their audience, increase brand awareness, drive sales, and of course, build community, making that daily, weekly, or monthly newsletter email a staple in digital marketing. But the top reasons to start a newsletter email are actually, they're a little more rooted in technology and statistics, at least in my humble opinion. So for starters, one of the best reasons to start an e-newsletter, at least for me, is because it provides a way for you to reach your audience without having to fight an algorithm. Like, it's not all smooth sailing. You do have to consider your open rate, but not having to worry about SEO and how to game the algorithm is already pretty huge. Plus, there is a massive number of email users, like even compared to social media. So to put this into perspective, like consider these stats. There are roughly 4 billion email users worldwide and about 5.59 billion active email accounts. Like, I'm differentiating between these two numbers because it's not uncommon for people to have multiple email addresses. Like me, I have several. One I use for business, one that's personal, and one for reasons. So these stats are compared to social media platforms like Facebook, which has 2.7 billion monthly active users, YouTube about 2 billion, Instagram more than 1 billion, and Twitter, well, they measure things a little bit differently. They don't tell us how many monthly active users they have. Instead, they measure the number of monetizable daily active users, or people and brands on Twitter who are able to show ads. So they currently have about 166 million monetizable daily active users. So now, another important reason to start a newsletter is because of how well newsletters render on mobile devices. This might sound purely technical, but mobile users currently account for 51.53% of all web traffic. That's more than half. And because newsletter emails are so lightweight and download rapidly, they also display just beautifully on mobile devices, which is something a lot of websites are not able to do as well, making newsletters a really good way for your brand to offer something to all those mobile users. And the fourth reason to start a newsletter might be a little obvious, but it is really important. It's because your email list, which is all of your newsletter subscribers, is something that you own. So since your email list isn't platform dependent and it basically goes where you go, you don't have to worry about losing your community due to like a platform shutting down or making significant changes, which can definitely happen. So for example, there have been a lot of rumors lately about TikTok possibly getting banned from the US market, which would just be devastating for creators who have put in a tremendous amount of time and effort into building a community there. And this is something that is just out of their hands because This is what happens when you're platform dependent. If the TikTok ban were to really happen, the only thing these creators could do is attempt to migrate the community that they've built onto another video platform like Instagram or YouTube, or try to maintain the community through an email list. All right, so that's actually it for today. Next time I will show you different kinds of newsletters for business and marketing, including my favorite newsletter of all time. I'll show you which types are best for you and how often you want to send a newsletter. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, guys, so if you have any comments or questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you feel like you learned anything new in this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I really love that. So again, thank you very much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.